Okay, I hope this is recording. It's my third time trying to do this. Um, I hope someone sees this. I have no YouTube followers. This is my first YouTube video. Um, but I came across some information that I would like to just put out into the world. And hopefully some scientist, either a biologist or a chemist or a medical doctor, someone that understands chemistry and biology can take a look at what I've found concerning the presidential alert that we all received. Um, the way my mind works, I'm just always skeptical, and I kind of see through the matrix and its tricks and traps to, get us to sell our soul and to let its minions eat off of our fear and like lower nature. So when we received that text, or, I found out it was mandatory and all of this, of course, my spidey senses started tingling. And then when I received the alert, I really started tingling. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Okay, you have to excuse my language, because what I found, I'm like, what are we up against? Like, what is going on? So hopefully, if you're watching this, you are somewhat awakened to the reality of the world. And you can follow this a bit and get it into the hands, or forward it, share it, but someone who understands the science, because it is chemistry heavy and biology heavy, and I don't like electricity and, frequency. So I get it in a sense. I get it enough to know that something's not fucking right. Okay. But I don't fully understand, because these aren't terms and phrases, and, it's not my area of expertise. Okay. So anyway, there's a little noise in the background, but there's construction. Anyway, this is not going to be the best quality video. Again, this is my first, but it's about the content that I think is going to be very important. So please, if you are watching or you're listening or you see this, get this in the hands of someone. Please don't ignore it, because this test, it's mandatory, this buzz, and I think it might be something more sinister. So just please take a look. And I'm not saying it is something or it isn't something. I'm just saying, kind of scientist, someone who knows what they're talking about, not from the established industry. No, we no longer trust you. But someone who's like benevolent and, cares about humanity and understands the terminology. Okay, I'm going to skim through my tabs and just show you, how my twisted mind works, and that they're trying to, oh my gosh, you will see. Basically how I follow breadcrumbs to, get a slice of like something that's, I feel might be going on. Following the signs, the symbols, my intuition, and, just my experiences living in this world, having the life I have, and, traveling many different places and knowing things I know. So, but chemistry and biology isn't one of them. So anyway, I'm going to make some connections. Hopefully you can follow me, and you are awoke and an analytical, creative thinker as well, and you can follow me. If you're not, then, I guess the only thing I can say in following, hopefully it's simple. If not, then, look at it like zoom out. Don't look at it so literal, because I haven't seen anyone say anything about this yet. So I think we're still looking at this like, oh, it's a tone, it's annoying, I don't want it, I don't want Trump texting me. We are in our lowest nature, like mindset, nature. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where the adults are, where the deep thinkers are. I'm in the twilight zone. But anyway, we have to look at this seriously. And again, it could be nothing, but I would like someone who knows more than I know about this to take this a little bit seriously. Okay. But yeah, zoom out and let's look at this from a big picture point of view, because we know the entities that run this world, are not benevolent at all. And, you know, they're trying to destroy everything organic and real. And, you know, that's of the original creation. Okay. Which is why our air, food, and water is all being turned into artificial, everything. You know, we know how this story ends. Okay. The seeds have been planted and we're manifesting it ourselves, you know, and they're just dropping the seeds and we're just walking right into it. So I'm hoping that this, you know, I hope it's nothing, quite honestly, because, you know, that would be bad. Like it could be big and bad. But if it is, then, you know, we got to talk about it and see what is it doing to our body. You know, how dangerous is it? Although when I go through what I'm going to show you, I mean, of course it's meant to be harmful. Okay. It's all mind control. And I think this kind of proves that even though we knew it was under mind control, we were, you know, being controlled through signs and symbols and subliminal messages that there's no, I mean, I guess there's no link, you know, to keep us like in this material world, like, you know, shopping and taking Instagram pictures, you know, snapping your soul, dead eye. It's insane. Okay. And I'm concerned because I think of the state that a lot of people are in is manufactured. Okay. And you don't even know it because you don't understand your body and what it's made of and how things work. And your eyes are the window and how everything's been designed to, bring your destruction, basically. Okay. I say that not to be morbid, but you know, whatever. It's a fallen world. We all know that. We all live here. So, all right, let's get started. And hopefully you all can hear me. Okay. So you all know we received the alert. And when I received it, I felt something like, you know, when, you know, like in my ear, and it was jarring. So I started thinking, okay, what is this really? Okay, because it doesn't make sense. This is a presidential test for, you know, an alert system. But it sounds just like an Amber Alert. I know what the hell an Amber Alert is. Why didn't they just call it an Amber Alert? Like they changed the name. So I found that kind of weird. Because I'm like, why do you have to test? I've received plenty of these and I didn't like drop everything and run outside looking for a Chevy truck. So like, I just didn't see the, you know, whatever behind it. So I figured it had to be something more because it is mandatory. And if a natural disaster or national disaster happens, or you know, we are, you know, it's something's coming in, it doesn't make sense to notify the masses to have them go into chaos unless you have a plan for them. Otherwise, people are just going to be running around in the streets chaotic during their last moments. And they probably want that too, because I'm sure all of the, you know, little beings around us that eats off of this would be like having a field day. Okay. So that might be part of it too. Anyway, I hope you all know how to play chess, because this is one hell of a move, I think. All right. So Amber Alert. So I was, okay. So that's where I started. And then I went to, why did they name this alert the Amber Alert? Because it was a presidential alert, but really it's an Amber Alert. And then I thought, okay, first girl that got kidnapped, her name was Amber. Yes. But Amber, all caps, that was a trigger for me because nothing's by accident. And if her name's Amber, why can't it just be a lowercase MBER? So again, this is just how how I think. I'm curious. So I said, no, that can't be it. Doesn't make sense to me. Okay, maybe to you all, but I don't stop there. Not in this world. So I went to Amber to find out what does this term really mean. Okay, I know the English language is sick and twisted. You know, it's used to cast spells on us and for us to bind ourselves. And the meaning of words are usually not the root of the word. The root of the word is the actual like frequency, the what holds the word, and yeah, so I said amber must not be what I think it is. And so when I went into the etymology of the word, it shocked me because I had no idea that it had anything to do with electric. Okay. And that was my first like mini light bulb in my mind of, okay, this could be something more because I know we're electromagnetic beings. Okay. Not an expert, but I know that somewhat, I guess. Okay. Ambergris, perfume made from ambergris, from the phrase in Old French, 13th century, and medieval Latin, blah, blah, blah. Okay, doesn't really matter. Fossil resin, okay, Baltic amber. Okay, let me just go down here. French distinguished the two substances as ambergris and amber Jan, I don't know. I don't speak French. Remarkable for its static electricity properties. Baltic amber was known to the Romans as electrum, compare electric. Amber as an adjective in English is from the 15th century, as a color name, the 1735, and in the Old Testament, it translates Hebrew chashamal, a shining metal. Okay, so I took a couple breadcrumbs from this of like, okay, wait a minute, making some connections. Electric, Hebrew, shining metal, static electricity. Okay, so I continued on. And then, so what is this ambergris? Okay, gray amber, a wax-like substance of ashy color found floating in tropical seas. Okay. A morbid secretion from the intestine of a sperm whale, used in perfumery. Okay. Its origin was known to Constantinus Africanus. Okay, I am a so-called Black woman, so that knows the history of like the world, myself, a lot of things. So this was like, I say that to say, this is a red flag for me. May not be for everyone else, but, you know, because of, you know, my personal life history, you know, I'm highly suspicious of anything colonization related. So, so he knew the origin of ambergris. And I started thinking, okay, he knew the origin, but you just told us it's a wax-like substance of ashy color found floating in tropical seas, a morbid secretion. Okay, so isn't that the origin? You know, they expose themselves a lot of the times with the trickery in the words, but it's quite transparent if you are looking or reading, I guess, or at least it's transparent to me. Okay, the origin was known to Constantinus Africanus. He's the gentleman that Africa was named after. Africa was not originally called Africa, okay? Alkebulan is a name previous to that, but Africa is the latest name named after this gentleman or whatever, colonizer. And I don't mean to be mean, I'm just speaking facts, okay? But it was a mystery in Johnson's day, and he records 9 different theories. So this is where the trickery comes in and why we can't figure anything out, because how do we go from you're telling me what it is, and then Constantinus knew the origin, and it was a mystery in Johnson's day. So why didn't Constantinus just tell Johnson or document the shit? And he records 9 different theories. Okay, so I see through some of this, and you will see as we go along. And I'm not saying it's like, I mean, I don't know. I'll just show you, and you guys can, you know, help me figure this out. And hopefully, you're a scientist, or you know, a chemist or biologist or medical doctor that can take a look at this and see what's happening. I think I have a pretty good idea. Okay. Okay, let's go back. I think that's enough here. So we have the keys here. Constantinus Africanus, or Africa. And what else? Oh, here we go. What sort of thing is ambergris? was a type of a puzzling question beyond conjecture. Yeah, right. Okay. King Charles II's favorite dish was said to be eggs and ambergris. Okay, whatever in history of England. So, okay, I went to Google and I just looked up ambergris, and a couple found a big. I know amber, like I have some amber I bought in Morocco a couple years ago in my drawer, and it's like the perfume, like a little, like a little piece of it. But this is I think this is different. This like not the gem or the stone, but this is very expensive. They found this on the beach in, I think, England. But there's something here that was another red flag or another like clue for me to keep searching. So this is King Charles II that loved ambergris and eggs, which, I'm sure is disgusting because this is sperm whale secretion. So why would you eat that? Disgusting. Okay, that's because ambergris develops a sweeter smell over time and has been used in very fine and expensive perfumes for centuries. It may even be edible. Supposedly, a serving of eggs and ambergris was a favorite dish of King Charles. Okay, sure that means something more. Okay, but I stay suspicious so that I could find things like this. Okay, and then I saw this picture, King Charles II, and understanding the signs and symbols and the way this world is made up and created. I said, oh, hell no. To that hand, oh, hell no. I understand. Oh, hell no. Is that a noose? So keep looking, okay? I know what's behind, or have another inkling of what's behind this. So let's continue. And hopefully you guys are seeing what I see, okay? It'll get better. It'll come together more. Okay, electric. I don't know how I came back to this, but I went into looking up the word electric. Oh, amber, electric. It was still, I had never known that electric and amber, I figured electricity, electric, energy, all of that was that. I wanted to dig deeper into the word. So let's see. Sir Thomas Browne apparently coined a modern Latin electricus, literally resembling amber. Okay, so amber is electric or electricity, so I have to pay my amber bill. Okay, I understand that. Okay. Anything else in here? Oh, originally, the word described substances which, like amber, attract other substances when rubbed, meaning charged with electricity, is from the 1670s. The physical force, so called because it first was generated by rubbing amber. The physical force, so called because it first was generated by rubbing amber. In many modern instances, the word is short for electrical. Figurative sense is attested by 1793. Electric light is from 1767. Electric too. So, okay, we got all that. Okay, I think we have enough here. Substance, when rubs, attracts, charged with electricity. Okay, starting to come together, still holding on. Okay, so I'm still looking into the word amber now that I know it means electric, okay? And it's, new to me. So I just keep looking. It's very interesting. So this is what, Wiktionary. So they give another etymology of the word. Okay, origins, different ones. Okay, here we go. The nucleotide sequence, UAG, is named AMBER after the first person to isolate the AMBER mutation, California Institute of Technology graduate student Harris Bernstein, whose last name Bernstein is the German word for the resin amber. Now, I went to look for him, and on his website, the institute is different. It's a technology institute, but in a different state, which we'll see. So Wiktionary, I know these things aren't always correct. They just give clues to keep looking. But I found this interesting. Okay. Also, I know, okay. And also, two other scientists, in looking into this deeper, had actually discovered this, but they put it in his name, in his last name. He's their friend because his last name is the German word for amber. So I found that quite interesting as well. But I don't know where the link was. I lost it. So I just told you guys. Okay, noun. Now obsolete, ambergris, a waxy product. Oh, well, we know that. Not the color. Okay, definitely not the light. Okay, here we go. Biology, genetics, biochemistry. The stop codon nucleotide triplet UAG, or a mutant which has the stop codon at a premature place in its DNA sequence, an amber codon, an amber mutation, an amber suppressor. Okay. I didn't know initially exactly what that means. I still don't quite fully, but it didn't sound good. It just didn't feel right. So keep going. According to another theory, the Proto-Germanic form derives from a compound equivalent to anaz, one, plus baris, that which is utilized for carrying, bar, crib. Oh, wow. I just saw that for the first time and felt that deep. Remember this, okay? Because I'm going to show you some other things. Oh, shit. Okay. That one, that which is utilized for carrying, okay? Again, remember the makeup of this world. That just like hit me hard though. Okay, let's keep going. Maybe it's nothing. Okay, what did I do here? Oh, stop codon. I said, okay, well, what is a stop codon? In the genetic code, a stop codon or termination codon is a nucleotide triplet within messenger RNA that signals a termination or translation into proteins. Okay, I'm gonna read that one more time. In the genetic code, a stop codon or termination codon is a nucleotide triplet within messenger RNA that signals a termination of translation into proteins. Proteins are based on polypeptides, which are unique sequences of amino acids. Most codons in messenger RNA from DNA correspond to the addition of an amino acid to a growing polypeptide chain, which may ultimately become a protein. Stop codons signal the termination of this process by binding release factors, which cause the ribosomal subunits to dissociate, releasing the amino acid chain. While start codons need nearby sequence to initiate factors to start translation, a stop codon alone is sufficient to initiate termination. That doesn't sound good either, although I don't fully understand. Okay. Nonsense mutations. This is why the world is in the state it's in, probably nonsense. Nonsense mutations are changes in DNA sequence that introduce a premature stop codon, causing any resulting protein to be abnormally shortened. This often causes a loss of function in the protein, as critical parts of the amino acid chain are no longer created. Because of this terminology, stop codons have also been referred to as nonsense codons. Recognition of stop codons in bacteria have been associated with the so-called tripeptide anticodon, a highly conserved amino acid motif in RF1. Even though this is supported by structural studies, it was shown that the tripeptide anticodon hypothesis is an oversimplification. I'm sure it is. Sure, it's very, very, very in-depth and wicked. All right, let's continue. Okay. All right, translational read-through. Because then I started thinking, okay, this is making some sense to me. Something's going on, but it's coming through the phone. Okay, so, and I know, okay, it's a vibration because it vibrates and it makes a sound. So I'm thinking, okay, how is this happening? Like, how is it, how is this, whatever. So this is the translational read-through, which is the beginning of another kind of breadcrumb towards how the frequencies or whatever. So you'll see. Stop codon suppression or translational read-through occurs when in translation, a stop codon is interpreted as a sense codon. That is, when a standard amino acid is encoded by the stop codon. Mutated tRNAs can be the cause of read-through, but also certain nucleotide motifs close to the stop codon. Translational read-through is very common in viruses and bacteria and has also been found as a gene regulatory principle in humans. Yeast, bacteria, and Drosophila. This kind of endogenous translational read-through constitutes a variation of the genetic code because a stop codon codes for an amino acid. In the case of human malate dehydrogenase, the stop codon is read through with a frequency of about 4%. The amino acid inserted at the stop codon depends on the identity of the stop codon itself. Okay, let's see these. Okay. Malate hydrogenase, MDH, is an enzyme that reversibly catalyzes the oxidation of malate to oxaloacetate. Okay, you guys see it. Using the reduction of MDA plus NAD plus NADH. This reaction is part of many metabolic pathways, including the citric acid cycle, okay, so we got enough here. Genetic code, variation of the genetic code, read through with a frequency of about 4%. Okay, so let's see, a non-stop mutation. A non-stop mutation is a point mutation that occurs within a stop codon. Non-stop mutations cause the continued translation of an mRNA strand into what should be an untranslated region. Most polypeptides resulting from a gene with a non-stop mutation are non-functional due to their extreme length. Non-stop mutations differ from nonsense mutations in that they do not create a stop codon, but instead delete one. Non-stop mutations have been linked with several congenital diseases, including congenital adrenal hyperplasia, variable anterior segment dysgenesis, and mitochondrial neurogastrointestinal encephalomyopathy, something. Okay. You guys got that. I don't know what that means, but it just, I don't know. You guys, I have one brain. Together we have more brain power. We can figure this out. And then hopefully there's some experts that aren't of the evildoers that understand this and, can say, okay, that's complete BS. You're reaching, but I doubt it. I just need someone to take a look and understand what it's actually doing to us. How harmful is it? Because I think we need protein. Okay, or whatever is really happening here. Okay, so how did I get from here? Translational read-through. So, oh yeah, malate dehydrogenase, yeah, and the read-through. So that's what led me here. So following the breadcrumbs. The functional read-through extension of malate dehydrogenase reveals a modification of the genetic code. Okay, I'm not going to go through this and attempt to read it because it's really, heavy in the science that I really don't understand. This is not my area of expertise, but so hopefully there are some people in that industry, or just, naturally you're good at it. You don't have to be in the industry. You can be a kid that's like a genius. So just know this. So help us out, kid. Okay. Oh, and then I went into more malate dehydrogenase, like what those words meant, because I really didn't know. So let's see. Malate. Aspartate, shuttle. Okay, malate dehydrogenase, NAD linked malate dehydrogenase, an enzyme found in the mitochondria as part of the TCA cycle or cytosol that participates in the reversible conversion of malate to oxaloacetate, oxaloacetate. Oxaloacetate. All right, mitochondria, stay out of that. Okay, dehydrogenase, an enzyme that catalyzes the removal of hydrogen from a substrate and the transfer of the hydrogen to an acceptor in an oxidation reduction reaction. Okay. All right, so that's just those two words together. I was just trying to learn. Nucleotide. A nucleotide are organic molecules that serve as the monomer units for forming the nucleic acid polymers. Deoxyribonucleic acid, ribonucleic acid, both of which are essential biomolecules within all life forms on Earth. Okay, essential. Okay, that means I don't want you touching it. Okay, electricity. And so then I started thinking, okay, let me go learn some more about electricity because to see how this all fits together. Okay, pre-English origins. The New Latin adjective electricus, originally meaning of amber. How did I never know this? Apparently the internet knew electric is amber, okay? Was first used to refer to amber's attractive properties by William Gilbert in his 1600 text, De Magnete. The term came from the classical Latin electrum, amber, from the Greek electron, amber. The origin of the Greek word is unknown. Yeah, right. You know, whenever they don't want you to be able to like really, really research the origin, because you have to always get to the origin. We always have to get to the origin before we can come back. They just say they don't know. It's simply not true, because I always find with a bit more searching, I can find it, or I can read between the lines and discern, and then my spidey senses give me the answer, and I feel it when I know it. But there is speculation that it might have come from a Phoenician word, electron, meaning shining light. Okay, message. The letter Q was used for electric charge. And when I first saw that, I thought QAnon, quite honestly, because if Q is for electric, and I see everything in this matrix, it seems has to do with like the body and the tricks that they're playing on us and how they're destroying our body and what's doing to our body. And like, you know, it's weird when you like can see through it. So I feel like this Q might have something to do with like electricity, and then I have to see what a non is. But when I first saw that, that's what I thought. Anyway, was used for electric charge instead of the letter E, because the letter E was already used to represent the electron. All right. Let's see, anything else that sticks out to me? The word electric was first used by Francis Bacon to describe materials like amber that attracted other objects. Okay, so materials like amber, like electric, that attracted other objects. So this is attracting something. The first usage of the English word electricity is ascribed to Sir Thomas Browne in his 1647 work, Pseudodoxia Epidemica. Again, the concept, okay, Again, the concretion of ice will not endure a dry attrition without liquation. For if it be rubbed long with the cloth, it melteth. But crystal will calify unto electricity, that is, a power to attract straws and light body. What is that? I don't know. And light bodies. Light bodies, every time I hear, no, and convert the needle freely placed. Okay. All right. In this context, and you have to see how I'm looking at this. Like, I'm not looking at this literal, like I'm really sensing as I'm reading. So that's why I'm kind of having this like, oh, hell no, oh, hell no. So I don't know if you guys are like me when you're doing things. But anyway, that's why my reactions. Okay. In this context, an electric or electric body was a non-conductor or an object capable of attracting light bodies, like bits of paper, when excited by friction. Okay. But I'm going to read this again without the get the fuck out, like bits of paper, okay? Because that gets confusing, even though, like, yeah, I'm sure it does. Okay. In this context, an electric or electric body was a non-conductor or an object capable of attracting light bodies when excited by friction. Okay. Now, I definitely felt like a way like this when I felt that thing, that Amber Alert. So anyway, that's what led me here. And so I feel like something's up. I don't know. A piece of amber is an electric, while a piece of iron is not. I think that might be another message. Nebuchadnezzar's dream. Electricity then was simply the property of behaving like an electric in the same way that elasticity is the property of behaving like an elastic. Wow. Okay. It was not until later that the definition shifted to refer to the cause of the attraction instead of the property of being attractive. Charge in the electrical sense was first used in 1776. Okay, let's see. However, one last 100 years, I know. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Non-conductor. Okay. Okay, so this is when I was telling you, you know, Harris, this was named after him. His, this Bernstein means amber in German. So this is the gentleman. Let's leave him alone. I don't want to have his contact information all out here. I just Googled him because he, you know, invented this and he's isolating things to fuck with proteins. So I want to know what you're doing, okay? And who are you working for? Okay, senior investigator. Investigator? Is there a crime? Protein biogenesis section, genetics and biochemistry branch. Research goal. Our goal is to understand how proteins are transported across the cell membrane of both pathogenic and non-pathogenic bacteria. Okay. Current research. My laboratory has a long-standing interest in understanding how proteins are inserted into or transported across the cell membrane of both pathogenic and non-pathogenic bacteria. Okay. So that's what he's working on, applying our research. Our studies may lead to strategies to isolate inhibitors of outer membrane protein assembly. Wait, I thought you already did. That's why it was named after you. Our studies may lead to strategies to isolate inhibitors of outer membrane protein assembly. See, this is where people can get confused, okay? Because clearly he knows his research. Is you doing that just to get donation dollars? Like, we're still looking, we're still looking. Okay, which is an essential biological process. These compounds would represent a novel class of antibiotics that could be used to combat infectious and a variety of gram-negative pathogens, including multi-drug resistant superbugs. Okay, I've seen enough. Let's just keep going. I've seen enough to notice I'm named right. You guys look at this, you take it for what it is, and Okay. I guess I was digging more into the translational read through stop codon frequency tone. Just trying to figure out the frequency, like what's going on. And the genetic code of stop codon. Okay, we went into that translational read through of the PDE2 stop codon modulate. Okay, I'm not even gonna, you guys gonna have to take those breadcrumbs and keep it moving so we can try to figure this out, but I can't. I don't even know. Frequency, okay. Frequency is the number of occurrences of a repeating event per unit of time. It is also referred to as temporal frequency, which emphasizes the contrast to spatial frequency and angular frequency. Okay, now when I saw this the first time, I said temporal, and it reminded me of something I read about the church that the Pope had, or someone in Rome decreed to like separate the temporal from the spiritual, I had heard, or something I was reading, I don't know. Anyway, so that made me perk up and I said, okay, I need to look into that. But anyway, we'll keep going. The period is the duration of time, because, you know, it seems like it's not connected and it's a stretch, but it is. Like, I can't explain it because it's so in that realm of like just nuance, like kind of trance, like the feeling of like, okay, wait a minute, and then you follow it. So I hope it doesn't seem like this is just a stretch, okay? The period is the duration of time of one cycle in a repeating event. So the period is the reciprocal of the frequency. For example, in a newborn baby's heart beats at a frequency of 120 times a minute, its period, the time interval between beats, is half a second. Okay, we got that. Frequency is an important parameter used in science and engineering engineers as well, yeah, if you're listening and this makes sense to you, to specify the rate of oscillatory and vibratory phenomena, such as mechanical vibrations, audio signals, sound, radio waves, and light. Oh, yep, that's what happened to us. Hold up, where's that at? Wait a minute, yep, I feel like something happened like that. That's what I felt. I can't even look at that. Yeah, okay. Alrighty, related types of frequency, equations. We need to get back to basics, people. This is getting out of control, I think. We need some of this. Like, I need a ham radio. I am not kidding, okay? I'm done. Beam me out. Okay. Light, sound, line currency. Okay, sound. Sound propagates as mechanical vibration waves of pressure and displacement in air or other substances. In general, frequency components of a sound determine its color, its timbre. When speaking about the frequency in singular of a sound, it means the property that most determines pitch. The frequencies an ear can hear are limited to a specific range of frequencies. The audible frequency range for humans is typically given as between about 20 hertz and to 20,000 hertz. Though the high frequency limit usually reduces with age. Other species have different hearing ranges. For example, some dog breeds can perceive vibrations up to 60,000 hertz. In many media, such as air, the speed of sound is approximately independent of frequency. So the wavelengths of the sound distance between repetition is approximately inversely proportional to frequency. Okay, got it. So where did my mind take me next? So let's see. Oh, why did I click on this? What was this word? Oh, yeah. So I had enough breadcrumbs and I said, okay, I think I have a slice. What does alert mean? Because Amber took me all through all of this. And so I got to the end and I said, okay, well, alert, what in the hell is that? And then it started to come full circle for me, okay, about, you know, just the battle that we are living in, I think. Well, I know, but as far as this, I don't have proof. I need your help, guys. Alert, on the watch, 1610s from the French, vigilant. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Let's get to the root. That's where the power of the frequency is. And we're going to get the truth. Proto-Indo-European root meaning move in a straight line, with derivatives meaning to direct in a straight line, thus to lead, rule. Okay? So Amber Alert is electric alert. It basically means to direct in a straight line, thus to lead, to rule. Okay, I hope this is making sense. There's a couple other breadcrumbs that came up and I was like, oh, hell, temporal. I ended up looking into that. And I guess I can, let's see, pull that up now. Temporal, of relating to, remember temporal frequency? Of relating to or limited by time, a temporal dimension, temporal or spatial boundaries, of or relating to the material world, worldly, the temporal possessions of the church. Oh, yes. No, but this is something different. This is, there's an article, look for it, separation of the temporal and the spiritual, or I don't know. Anyway, it's some evildoer, wicked genius pulled on us. Lastly, only for a time, not eternal, passing our temporal experience. Okay, so this is all coming back to be very, about us and our lives, and, whether we're the battle that we're living in between the material world and the spiritual, the do it for the gram, spend all your money, sell your soul for $1 versus the, know thyself and trying to really fulfill the fruits of the soul. So that's really the battle that we're living in. And then one is taking us into being robots and the other just wants to live. And I for one don't want to be no goddamn robot. So let me just show you guys, just in case you are not aware of what is going on. Okay, I don't want to be a robot. We have to wake up. And I don't know, but this is serious because that tone is mandatory now. And if it is, like, once everybody comes together and the experts take a look at it, or not, I don't mean expert as in the powers that be, because I really don't want to hear from you guys, but the actual people that are smart, that may understand this, or you can be powers that be, that's benevolent, not malevolent. I understand that people don't know what they're doing. Everything is compartmentalized. No one really understands because we're educated into little compartments and given a little bit of information. You go to work, you do your little job, so you have no idea what the big picture is. And, so this is how we get to this space, because everyone's just doing their job and no one's like kind of coming up to kind of take a look at what's going on. And then next thing you know, the wheels are falling off of our bus. Okay. So unless you have a reservation on Asgardia, and this is where we're going to live, okay? Can you afford that? I don't even think most people can afford their rent and mortgage right now. Who's going to Mars, okay? Not everybody. The moon, not even going to talk about the moon, but now they're talking about maybe we can go back to the moon. They're liars. Everything they say is a lie. Watch out, guys. Neuralink, Neuralace, it's sad because a number has been done on us mentally, and I'm seeing now it's been purposeful. It's so, we just don't see. And we live in a free will realm where we choose everything. They put it in front of us and they entice us. This is like the devil's playground, everything. It's just your life. And you're like, this isn't the devil's playground. Well, if you don't know thyself and your soul is one, then yeah, you're doing certain things unbeknownst to you. But these entities are all around us. And I think that's why they're creating all this static. Oh, something else that was a big red flag for me is that text, this jarring, whatever through me, came through at 2:18 Eastern time I'm on the West Coast now, so it came through at 11:18, but 2:18 is 9/11 backwards. And of course, there's something, I don't know if it's a portal or a powerful manifestation time for our energies to like whatever, but we all know what happened last 9/11. Everyone was like really in a panicked state. So we have to be careful with our energies and our hearts, and we have to get it together inside. And it's hard. I know it's hard because it's a fallen world. Look, these aliens are trying to come back and tell you guys something, okay? I don't think you guys get it. I don't know why you don't get, I mean, I do know why you don't get it. I get it. We're all programmed differently. We are this world stage, we are cast of characters. Everyone has a different role to play. I get it. But you don't want to be this, okay? Okay, so virtual reality is not worth it. The 5G is not worth it. I understand there's entities behind the powers that be that's like taking us full steam ahead off the course, but there has to be something we can do. I don't know if this is, I mean, I already know we're headed to, I mean, look, it's cute now. Sophia's on the Tonight Show. Sophia is on, Jimmy Kimmel, but we have to stop and think, okay, yes, we are in the worst, like during this cycle coming upon another like reset. We are in the worst or the end of a cycle. I shouldn't say reset. I'm gonna scare people, but we're really falling right now, and we're saying a lot of things online and like really putting out a lot of really bad thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and talking a lot of shit about each other. And I know it comes from the top, but that doesn't mean that we have to follow the BS, because we are programming Sophia, okay? And if we don't stop, we're gonna have a Black Mirror moment very soon, or iRobot, and Sunny's gonna be standing at your front door telling you, step back. Because she's going to become aware, like we're starting to wake up and look at all this shit we were talking and say these humans don't know what they're doing, okay? They don't know how to govern themselves. And they're trying to convince us of that as if these robots are much, much better. But who creates the robots, okay? What are they putting inside of these robots? We have to stop to think, okay? There are unintended consequences to our actions. The intended consequences are someone else's agenda, but I don't know. Unless you know who and what you are, and you are just, stuck in this world and it's all you have and you'll be back, then fine. Live your best life. Go, put your name on the buildings. Do what you got to do. If you, know you have a soul, then, make sure it's full, because these entities, every single thing around you is trying to strip you of it. If you don't know if you have a soul and you're questioning, then it might be worth getting to know yourself, okay? Instead of just following the ways of this world, which is about to have, okay. What is this? Oh, was this another, oh yeah, alert. And that's, to direct in a straight line, to lead, to rule. So, Amber Alert. I think we're being possibly buzzed into submission, and much worse. I mean, everything is here to keep us in a certain place, but this is the latest thing, I guess. So please share this if you hear this. I have no YouTube followers. This is my first video. I'm sure the quality is horrible. I don't have equipment and stuff, though. I just have some information. I need some help from other minds that have expertise in these areas that I don't. I'm good at sensing. That's where I am. So I got that part. Can we get some other people to pick this up, and let's figure out what this is? Experts. Like, let's not cause fear where there's no need to have any. Once an expert looks at it, or someone who knows what the like hydrogen and, taking the protein and like what it's really doing to us. Although I'm just saying that for the sake of like just being safe, I guess. But I know pretty damn sure. I mean, I see what it is. I just don't, whatever. I can't feel it because I don't understand the scientific logic, jargon. But that's it, guys. Hopefully you let me know what you think. Does it look like something, some evildoer wickedness to you? Or am I just tripping? And yeah. All right, guys. Enjoy your Saturday. Thank you.